Family is Providence. Thanks for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, Drake continues to be the punchline, the butt of the joke on mainstream American platforms. Obviously, we watched the Super Bowl where he was called a pedophile. We now watch the Oscars within a few weeks of each other, and Conan O'Brien makes a joke referencing the Super Bowl, saying it's halftime. Now it's time for Kendrick to come out, call Drake a pedophile, and the whole crowd laughed. Ha ha, he. And so now Drake continues to have his name attached to something that he hasn't even been formally accused of. And I know that people will say, well, it's the battle, and Drake said some crazy things about Kendrick. True. The only thing is, I don't see mainstream America repeating those things. If mainstream America was repeating those things at high profile national events like the Super Bowl, then maybe you'd have a point that this has gone too far for Kendrick as well. So it doesn't seem to be a fair fight as far as I'm concerned when it comes to this battle. And to be honest with you, I don't know if Kendrick anticipated this or he wanted this to happen, but this has now gone past the battle, past, the hip hop rap community, right? The song is the biggest song of Kendrick's career by far. I don't know if he thought it was going to be that when he was making it. Maybe he did. I mean, I think you sometimes can tell when you're making a banger, but I don't know if he knew it would be to this level and that it would get him a Super Bowl and it would get all the people repeating these accusations. Now, I can't imagine that Kendrick cares too much. He's probably happy this is happening, but I do think that Kendrick should be a little bit cautious here, because depending on how this lawsuit goes with UMG, if UMG got to pay out of pocket, they may well turn around and sue Kendrick. And there was some information floating around that they had told Drake that if they got sued, they would turn around and sue Kendrick. So Kendrick could very well see himself facing legal action as a result of all this anyway. And at first, I was thinking to myself that it might be going too far for the sake of hip hop to sue Kendrick, but I have officially changed my mind on that position. I know hip hop would never forgive Drake. I know that he would be ridiculed for this nonstop, but as far as I'm concerned, I think Kendrick got to get thrown into a lawsuit. As far as I'm concerned, I think that he should be suing both UMG and Kendrick. Kendrick is the source of the slander. UMG promoted the slander, right? Both of them participated in the defamation that Drake is now dealing with. And so I think both of them should be included in the lawsuit. I don't think it should be either or. It should be both of them. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think Drake is going to do that. I think Drake recognizes that, I think he barely kind of got away with suing the labels. People were already calling him corny for suing the labels. But people don't really care too much about these labels. So I think he can get away with that. If he sues Kendrick, it'll be problematic. But to be honest with you, it don't even matter. At this point, people got to pay, because this joint has gone too far. And apparently, the person who wrote the joke was a black man. He goes by the name of Skylar Higley on X. And he wrote the joke. And I just thought it was kind of crazy to me. He's getting cooked right now on social media, and in my opinion, deservedly so. Because you got a black man writing a joke for a white man to down another black man of accusations that haven't even been proven or established in any way, shape, or form. And so it's another reason why, black people, we can't get ahead. We always trying to tear each other down, and I get it. The beef happened and it was two black men going at each other. But the fact is, when we start licensing white people to get in on the joke, and it's being celebrated by corporate white America, and especially since half the people in that Hollywood crowd are dealing with pedophiles and would never be officially charged with the crimes that they've committed, yet we've got a black man writing a joke for a white man to laugh and have fun in front of white America at the expense of another black man who hasn't even been formally charged. I think at that point, stuff starts going too far. It starts looking really weird, really cringy. I mean, when I first heard the joke, it was a cringe moment, bro. I was like, first of all, I'm not a fan of Conan O'Brien. I get it. In many people's eyes, he might be a legendary comedian. but he's never been someone on my rotation. I mean, I mostly watch black comedians anyway. A couple of white comedians have, you know, the Bill Burrs of the world that I've appreciated, but Conan O'Brien's never been that guy for me. He looked incredibly nerdy, incredibly cringy. His delivery has never been something that I've appreciated. And here he is throwing Drake under the bus in front of a bunch of other white people, and everybody's laughing. Oh, okay, fun, cool. I get it. Two mainstream rappers had a battle and things kind of got out of hand, but as far as I'm concerned, it's officially corny when white people get in on the joke and start laughing amongst themselves, because you start to wonder, like, are they laughing with you or are they laughing at you? You know what I mean? It's like, yo, like, you start to wonder, like, huh? And I know a lot of you people hate Drake, so your hatred for Drake and your bias against Drake, you're not going to care, right? You're going to celebrate this moment no matter what. But the fact of the matter is, you know, if the tables had turned and if it was a joke about Kendrick, right? If it was a domestic violence joke on Kendrick, y'all would have been ready to turn tables. But Conan O'Brien can get away with that because the so-called culture is riding against Drake. That's very corny to me. I don't appreciate it. And I think Drake needs to really, let the paperwork fly, brother. I'm sorry. Let the paperwork fly. As a matter of fact, you might need to add Kendrick to it too. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Cause now Cass is wilding. You're wilding. And I saw some comments saying, well, he looked like he was kind of dissing Kendrick by saying, Kendrick, you're gonna be calling him a pedophile again. And so people were interpreting it to say, well, it's actually what Kendrick did. But if you actually listen to what he said, don't worry, I'm lawyered up. Well, who's the only person suing in this situation? Drake. So clearly you wouldn't mention that if you didn't think that it would be a dig against Drake. So clearly, I think the only plausible interpretation was the fact that, yes, he was taking another shot at Drake, right? And again, the guy who wrote the joke is a Kendrick fan and a Drake hater, if you look at some of his previous tweets. So with all of that being said, it was clearly a shot at Drake. And if I'm Drake, brother, we lawyering up. That's all I gotta say about that. So anyway, guys, thank you guys for listening. This has been Providence. I'll see you guys in the next video.